the invisible, unbreakable thread that connects time throughout centuries. A short story by Tassos Lampropoulos, Liangzhu City, 2937 BC. Father, you were always talking a lot, sometimes with an angry voice. I remember, your words hard and sharp, like those jade axe blades we used to make. Your words carved red circles in my heart. But I always kept intact my love and admiration for you. Words could never separate us, because behind them, I felt your love and your pride in me. Next to you, I learned how in art, one must be a perfectionist and always demand more from himself. Thanks to you, Father, I learned to see the magic that the green, yellow and white jade stones hide within them. Whenever I see such a stone, I can immediately imagine a perfect creation. I remember your words that you said to me one day. It was autumn. The yard at the back of our house was covered with golden yellow leaves, spread as if they had been scattered by a priestess wearing a yellow robe. A breeze was blowing and the sky was swallowing the clouds when you called me to come next to you. You pointed to the yard, then on our big leafy tree, then to the clouds which were rushing across the sky, and told me that if one cannot see here before him the supreme wonder of life, if one cannot see the masterpiece of nature, he will never be able to become a great artist. The man of art, you told me, sees what others cannot see or pass by indifferently. He sees the hidden harmony and beauty even in the smallest and humble. He understands that harmony, same as life, is flowing like the river beside our city. Now, under the big tree in our yard, I'm sitting next to the soil that covers your body. My dear Father, I've come to tell you the news and give you some company. Yesterday, the governor gave me the Medal of Excellence of the best jade craftsman in Liangzhu. Thoughts and feelings ran through my mind about you, Father, as I stood in front of a large crowd of people, clapping and smiling at me. As I took it in my hands, in my heart and in my mind, there were only the moments of working the jade with you. For me, you will always be the best artist, no matter what all of them say today, that I have surpassed you in the art you taught me. I have not surpassed you, Father. You have surpassed yourself again and again, since every time I create, it is you in my heart who tells me how to make every detail in the new creation. I took the gold medal of the city in my hands with a slight bow and then said with a smile to the governor, "We thank you for this honor. We will stand worthy. We still have a lot to create." He looked at me a little surprised that I spoke to him in the plural, but he didn't dwell on it. However, I thanked him for both of us, Father. Then, while the people cheered and shouted loudly, I took out of my bag 3 artifacts that we had made together some time before you went away with that quiet departure and left me alone. The first and largest of these was one of our most difficult creations, but the most suitable for a gift to the ruler. I am talking about that difficult artifact that took a lot of hard work and perfect skills to be done. The heavy square disc of dark green jade that was cut with perfect symmetry. Do you remember which I'm talking about? The one that on its sides we had carved patterns of heaven and earth. I handed the heavy square disc to the governor saying, "This is our gift to you, your excellency, with honor and esteem." That moment I could feel you next to me. We gave this gift to the governor together, you and I. The second artifact was the vase of white-yellow jade, which the light caused to have a luster of its own. In this you had let me carve a fish on the outside. I gave it to the governor's wife, who was standing nearby in formal dress. She took it in her hands and looked at it with excitement. The third was that little white jade dog that you love so much. I gave this to the beautiful daughter of the governor in the hope that she too would look at me and perhaps feel the love I have hidden in my heart for her. Father, I will soon return to our workshop. I have a lot of work to do. But before I let you rest, I want to tell you a dream I had last night. I saw in my dream that I woke up in our house, but as soon as I approached the window I was startled. Our yard didn't exist, and neither did our city. Everything had disappeared. It looked like countless times had passed and Liangzhu no longer existed. Our city seemed to be a distant memory. I came out of the house shocked, walking in an unknown place, and somewhere near the river, I met a young man about my age. He wore strange clothes and spoke in a language I did not understand. But he was very friendly with me. He was trying to talk to me by asking me things, but neither of us understood the other. So I took him by the hand and brought him to our workshop. I showed him all the jade work we had there, and he was thrilled. I gave him that very small disc with the circular hole that we made from green jade, asking from him to show it to more people. He accepted my gift with joy. Then we said goodbye and he left excited. This was the dream, Father. But I must tell you that it was not like other dreams at all. I had a feeling as if it was reality. Fortunately, when I woke up in the morning, everything was in place. Rest now, Father, and don't worry. Know that I work hard every day, just like you. Liangzhu City of Hangzhou, Zhejiang, 1937. Good morning, Father. Good morning, Shanlong. I see you are working. Sorry, I will only interrupt you for a little while. I want to tell you about a very strange dream I had yesterday. Dreams are dreams, my son, and life is about reality. You are right, Father. But this dream had a magic effect to my reality too. Let me tell you, in my dream, I was alone. It was noon, and I was walking to the place we often like to go near the river. Suddenly, I saw in front of me a young man dressed poorly, as if he were a beggar. He smiled at me and spoke to me in a language I did not understand. He didn't understand our language either, so we didn't manage to get along or find out where he was from. In a moment, he took me by the hand and led me to a house made of straw, bamboo, and mud. At the back of it was built a small warehouse like a workshop. There, he showed me some discs and some other works of jade, which I understood to have been made by himself. Really beautiful artifacts, but I had no idea about their meaning. Then he said some words that I didn't understand and gave me a small green disc with a hole in the middle. I was very happy with this gift. Unfortunately, when I awoke, I couldn't remember any other detail of that dream, but I had a strange feeling. This dream was different and seemed so real. So I went to search for that same place where that young man took me. I remembered exactly the route, somewhere in the fields, not far from the riverbank. I got there, but there was nothing. No old house, no workshop. I just found out that I was standing very close to the excavations that the archaeologists are doing. But Father, I wouldn't tell you all this if something were not happening that goes beyond my logic. Looking carefully around there at the place he took me, a large stone caught my attention. I decided to move it. As I rolled it with great difficulty, a shiver ran through my body. With my eyes wide open and my heart beating like crazy in my chest, I saw the young man's gift on the ground. The green disc was there under that stone. Being shocked, I held my breath as I took it in my hands and wiped it from the dirt. I was sure I could recognize the small green disc that boy had given me in the dream. Here it is, Father. It is this jade disc. I still can't get over this surprise. This is a jade bee. It's definitely an archaeological find, and if I'm not mistaken, it's from the ancient Liangzhu of the Neolithic era. Some time ago, I read a publication by the archaeologist Shi Xingeng, who has been working for months on the excavations to our area. This young man wrote that he was proud and full of joy to have discovered ancient Liangzhu, a city that existed 5,000 years ago. In fact, in that article, there were also photos of similar larger discs, which he called Jade B. Shanlong, even though the dream you just told me was really different and binds you emotionally, you can't keep this disc. It is an archaeological find and belongs to the state, and therefore to all citizens of China. We have to deliver it. Tomorrow morning we will go together to the archaeologists who are working on the excavations. You are right, Father. Now that I think about it, he may not have given it to me as a personal gift, but rather as a proof and a request. I really feel that giving me this green disc, he gave me a mission. He and I become the two fixed points of a bridge across the centuries, so the dreams, works, and culture of ancient Liangzhou will not be lost. I am glad, my son, to hear the words you speak. We all have an obligation to society, to our country, and to life. We must leave behind more than we found. And the discovery of our ancient city is something very important, much greater than a feat of the archaeological spade. I read that the archaeologist who made the great discovery of our ancient city also worked with great passion and faith. They all say that Professor Shi is a young and genius archaeologist. He is just 24 years old, 6 years older than you. Father, thank you so much. We will go tomorrow morning to the excavations. I really want to meet Professor Shi Xinggang, deliver him the disc and shake his hand. He is the one who heard in his heart the whispers from the distant past of our ancient city. He believed in his vision, and what a miracle. He brought to light something so important from the life of our ancestors. A proof that China has 5,000 years of culture and history. Oh, I feel what happened in my dream was to remind me that invisible, unbreakable thread binds the lives of all of us from the distant past to the present moment. And yes, you are right. We must leave behind more than we found. Father, I've just made my decision. I will study archaeology. I have sensed that invisible thread and my place within it. Tassos Lampropoulos, poet and writer, Liangzhu, November 20-24. Author's note. Shi Xinggang was a real historical figure and a distinguished archaeologist. He discovered the Liangzhu culture in 1936 at the age of 24. This is a fascinating fact and deserves special mention.